Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, July 22nd, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. Last Saturday in Norwood, the fire department and police department responded to a call about an accident at the Chateau restaurant on Route 1. A school bus crashed up the front of the stairs of the Chateau. Fire Department Chief David Hayes gives us details on the accident.
Bus went off Route 1 for whatever reason, down through the bushes and across the parking lot and up the stairs.
Were there any injuries?
No injuries that we're aware of. I mean, we didn't transport anybody. Thankfully, the place was closed. There wasn't a lot of cars in the parking lot. That would have been a real mess.
What was the damage done to the Chateau?
Very little, really. I mean, it replaced the front doors and some other stuff, I believe. But not a lot of structural damage, which was good. It was held up by the railings and posts out front. They actually slowed the bus down a little bit more, in addition to the fact that it was going upstairs.
Less than 48 hours later, the fire department was back at it when responding to a call they received about an excavator fire at Norwood Hospital construction site.
So we got a call, I guess sometime around lunchtime, 11 o'clock, for an excavator fire at the hospital on the site. I looked out my office window immediately because that's what I do, and pretty good plume of smoke coming up over there. They sent everything because we know it's a mess. That whole area is all debris and construction. So all my fire trucks went, got there, had a pretty good engine fire in the back of the excavator. What it looks like may have happened is he blew a hydraulic line or popped a hose in a hydraulic line. That oil sprayed up onto a hot engine exhaust. That caught fire, melted and burned all of the rubber and wiring inside the engine. Now we have a running fire that was all diesel dripping down to the ground. So the guys cooled the thing for as long as they could. Couldn't really get at it with the water. Couldn't get the water where it needed to be. So it was a stubborn fire. Guys were working and sweating and doing all the stuff they do, and they just weren't getting there. Eventually, after we cooled it for a little while, we went in with a couple of dry chemical extinguishers and finished it off.
A big thanks to both the police and fire department for their hard work this past weekend, and as always, their work every day to keep Norwood safe. We'll be right back where we'll hear from Chief Brooks about his visit to the White House, as well as an update from the Recreation Department. Last week, our own Police Chief Brooks visited the South Lawn at the White House to be a part of an event marking passage of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Chief Brooks details the new changes that have been passed with the new bill in place to improve gun safety in the United States.
So there's a lot to the bill, and there's probably some things that I think a lot of people would like to have seen in the bill that didn't make it. But it was really the first major piece of gun legislation in almost 30 years. So one is that it closed the so-called boyfriend loophole. So under federal law, if you have been convicted of domestic violence, then you cannot purchase a firearm. But the domestic violence in the federal law is only defined as a spouse or somebody who you live with. It doesn't take into account an ex-boyfriend. So this closed up that boyfriend loophole, so to speak. It also imposed a little different kind of background check for people who are under 21. So when you go to buy a firearm now at a gun store, the gun store literally calls or uses an automated process to check with the National Instant Background Check system that's run by the FBI in Clarksburg, West Virginia, which coincidentally is where my Tuesday meeting was supposed to be. But in any event, those so-called NICS checks are run every single time somebody tries to buy a firearm. And this provided an enhanced background check for people who are under 21. Particularly that if the NICS section finds some indicators that the person shouldn't have a firearm, that they get an extension of the amount of time that they have to produce a result and get back to the gun store. For most people, it's 3 days, 3 business days, and now this makes it 10 business days. So there was that. It also assigned some money to schools to enhance security and also around mental health. So there was some funding there. It created a clearinghouse of best practices for school safety, so that school systems could check with that clearinghouse, if they want to enhance their safety. So there was that, and then some other parts that it was a fairly comprehensive bill. And like I say, it had been signed the week before when he had to be out of town, but this was an event to kind of mark that. And this was on the South Lawn of the White House. So again, I went there representing the IACP Firearms Committee with a couple of other folks from IACP, and it was interesting.
The Recreation Department is having a busy summer, and the first ever block party was a hit. Katie Seastead is excited to announce that another block party is in the works, and she explains how you can sign up.
Hi Norwood, Katie Seastead here on Summer Update. So the summer is always a busy season for us. Right now we have just completed our first ever block party at Bond Street. It was a huge success and we look forward to our August one at Balt Elementary School. Registration is open on MyRec. We also have another movie night coming up in August, so please mark your calendars. And then we have our summer camps going on, our swimming lessons, fishing camp, Mustang sports camp, a lot of our specialty camps, Challenger camp. Right now we're in a little bit of a heat wave, but our staff is doing a great job escaping it using the sprinkler systems, our pools. We're very fortunate this summer to have a great staff both on the pools as well as campside. So if you see a lifeguard or a pool maintenance or a camp counselor, make sure you thank them, because without them, we really wouldn't be having a great summer. We just want to say thank you so much, Norwood. We are currently working on our fall guide, so please look out. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be launching our fall teasers. We look forward to it. I know it's July, but we are already planning for the fall winter. So if you have any suggestions, please contact the Civic Center, 781-762-0466. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Katie. Your work with the Recreation Department has truly kept Norwood a fun place to be during the summer months. Now we'll throw it over to Megan Corbett with this week's Sports Update.
Hi, I'm Megan Corbett, and here's the latest in summer sports. The post-60 Legion team finished fourth in their division and qualified for the playoffs. Unfortunately, they lost to Franklin and Natick, and their season is now over. The 14-year-old Babe Ruth district team has qualified for the New England Regional Tournament and is playing Rhode Island on Friday in Westfield. Brendan Bartuca and Greg Arbogast will be making the trip and covering the game for NCM for future broadcasts. Good luck to Coach Holly and his team. Congratulations to softball player Sam Rose for being named Boston Herald All-Scholastic. Sam was also named Tri-Valley League MVP and will be back next year. The softball team promises to be strong next year, and NCM will be there to cover some of the games. And finally, congrats to Joey Ryan, son of town engineer Mark Ryan, for being named to the Cape Cod League All-Star team. Joey pitches for the Falmouth Commodores and Boston College. That's it for sports. Now let's throw it back to Brian, who has the latest in town government.
In government, the Finance Commission met last week on Thursday. With the fiscal year ending, the meeting kicked off with some end-of-the-year municipal transfers. General Manager Tony Mizuko explained to each account and why the transfer was needed.
The first one, selectmen salaries. This was for some part-time staff help that was in the office catching up on a minutes backlog. They were out of staff for about 8 or 9 months during the mid to latter part of COVID, got behind on meetings. There was a transition in the office, and we had some summer help stick around to correct that. Facility salaries over a bit. Maureen did have a payout back in the fall. Unfortunately, when she passed away, that was around $15,000. Fire salaries, they were a year behind everyone else. So we had closed money out we had previously put aside, but that's now, they are settled and on the same pattern as everyone else. Building salaries, again, Matt Walsh's untimely passing. He had a sick and vacation payout, and we've been using some of the part-time and fill-in inspectors almost right from when he got very sick at the end, just to make sort of make ends meet in the department. And then the cemetery salaries is both a good and a bad story. There's a lot more Saturday burials going on. We charge for the Saturday burials. We charge more for them. And we do receive a revenue that offsets it. It's just a general fund revenue. So it's both good and bad news that the cemetery is doing well financially.
The board discussed the first draft of the audit report for 2021, and Alan Slater gave an update on the middle school building and the $6 million that has to be cut from that budget.
We had a marathon 3-hour meeting last Monday, the full middle school building committee. The reason for that is, we've just gotten revised estimates, our reconciliation of, the revised cost estimate based on current trends. And as we were afraid of, it did come in higher than what our original estimate was. And it's not really surprising when you really look at it. Westwood and Walpole projects that are maybe a few months ahead of us, same problem. They came in with about as much of an increase proportionally as we did. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The supply chain certainly is one of them. Steel costs are completely out of sight. Anything related to metalwork, the costs have skyrocketed. But another one, which you really wouldn't think of, but it has an incredible impact on an overall project, is diesel fuel. Whether it's transportation of equipment, whether it's doing work on site, such and such. There was a tremendous increase in cost. Well, the bottom line is we had to cut over $6 million worth of cost from the construction of the project. We had a list. It's referred to as a value engineering list of, let's see, of well over 100 items. And the kind of items that we talked about are nothing that impacts the program of the school, nothing that impacts the size of the school. Those things, we didn't touch.
The Finance Commission will meet again next month. The Zoning Board of Appeals met on Tuesday night to hear an application for a single-story addition to a home at 22 Cypress Street, which was continued to August 2nd pending further information. The board also heard an application from a single-family home at 15 Spruce Road looking to add a second-floor addition to increase the number of bedrooms in the home. This application was passed unanimously. The Zoning Board of Appeals will meet again on August 2nd. And for complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news.
Tune in to NCM all summer long and watch the end-of-the-year events held this spring by the Norwood Public Schools. Enjoy the end-of-the-year Little Mustang preschool videos, the Willard Kindergarten celebrations, the elementary school graduations, the Coakley Middle School graduations, and all the events at the high school, including the senior walk, senior video, class day, and graduation. These programs will continue to air into the fall and are also available on VOD at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. The Norwood Public Schools, right here on NCM.
The 2022 Norwood Summer Concert Series is in full swing at the Town Common. If you are looking for a nice summer night outside, just bring a chair and enjoy the free music. On Sunday, July 24th, there will be a carillon concert from 2 to 3 p.m. featuring Margaret Angelini. And at the Sunday concerts on the Common, the Compact Big Band will be performing from 6 to 8 p.m. On Tuesday, July 26th, the Norwood Junior Women's Club will have a kids concert at 6:30 featuring Matt Heaton. On Wednesday, July 27th, the Summerfest concert will feature Boston's Erin Org from 7 to 9 p.m. If you can't make it to the concerts, they will be rebroadcast on Norwood Community Media. Special thanks to the concert committee members and all of the sponsors for their generous support.
If you're looking for a good home-cooked meal or some comfy indoor and outdoor dining, please visit the Old Colonial Cafe. The OCC has been a Norwood staple in the town, serving generations of families for almost 50 years. We feature the OCC on this week's Living Local series. For nearly 5 decades, the Old Colonial Cafe has been serving up tasty dishes to the community. Restaurant manager Paul Eckhart describes the atmosphere of the restaurant.
I think what makes the Old Colonial unique is that we've been in business for 50 years. We've been a member of this community for decades. We've celebrated some highlights and some low times with all the families here in Norwood.
Founded by Paul and Martha Angelo in 1969, the OCC has been a townie favorite since the beginning.
When customers come to the Old Colonial Cafe, they can expect a great time. Good food, great drinks, fun service, just a community feeling.
When you dine at the OCC, you'll notice a lot of familiar and friendly faces on the walls.
A lot of them are historical because this building was Norwood's first firehouse. So we have pictures of JFK across the street at the town hall and where the common was back in 1962. We have photos of the Angelo family. And we also have a lot of photos of just people that, play a significant role in this town or in this business. This is supposed to be an extension of your home. OCC, Old Colonial Cafe, you could also call it, our country club.
Eckhart explains that there is a great deal of pride when it comes to the menu.
Some of the highlights on our menu would definitely be seafood. All our seafood comes in fresh every single day. Can't beat our pizzas. Paul makes the pizza dough fresh every single day. There's a lot of pride that goes into the product that we put out here. And I think people see that when they come in and see the different stylings and offerings that we offer. The best part about working at the Old Colonial Cafe is that every day is different. No 2 days are the same. You don't know what you're walking into some days, and it keeps it exciting and keeps you on your toes. We are located at 171 Manhattan Street in downtown Norwood, across from the town hall. There's somebody here 7 days a week. You can call, you can visit our website, oldcolonialcafe.com. But the best way to come is Tuesday through Saturday. Stop in, find out what's going on here, and just enjoy yourselves. This isn't just a restaurant, it's an experience. The staff here all has Norwood ties, the owners have Norwood ties, and we're all about serving the community and just enjoying the moment.
I know what I'm getting for dinner tonight. Thanks, Paul. With heat emergencies in effect this week due to skyrocketing temperatures, it's a great week to hang by the pool or pack a bag and head to the beach. Carrie McKay, Norwood's Regional Health Associate, has some important information on how to stay safe and have some fun in the sun.
My name's Carrie McKay. I'm from the Norwood Health Department, and with the extreme heat this week, we just thought it would be a good reminder, even though we've all heard it numerous times, just how important it is to use sunscreen daily, protect your skin, stay hydrated. And this goes for everyone, regardless of age, skin tone. I know the majority of us forget to put it on, unless we're just sitting at the beach all day, myself included. The sun can damage your skin, causing premature aging, wrinkles, and skin cancer. Studies show that 5 severe sunburns early in life can double the risk for developing melanoma. Most kinds of skin cancer are preventable, so just a reminder to know your risk, examine your skin, and practice sun safety. So myself and a few others within the health department are currently working on a sun safety program to remind the community and children at local camps and town pools just the importance of sunscreen and seeking shade in their daily activities. The program mostly involves fun activities for the kids just to kind of teach them and provide sunscreen samples to them and UV stickers, which are actually these cool stickers that they can put on their skin, and it will show when to reapply, which is really cool. We also have a UV camera that we purchased, which can reveal the potential underlying damage of our skin. And the general rule to be most effective is to apply SPF 15 at the minimum, broad spectrum sunscreen about every 2 hours and 30 minutes before going outside. The sunscreen doesn't last all day, so just make sure you're reapplying.
Thanks, Carrie. Welcome to Norwood, and we look forward to more key information from the Norwood Health Department. And that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.